Back here in Minneapolis, and after 31 years, the Dome's farewell season. Rod Chudzinski, the first-year head coach of the Browns from Toledo, grew up a Browns fan, college tight end, longtime assistant. Now he is the #1 guy for the Browns. And Leslie Frazier in the Super Bowl as a player with the Chicago Bears, a NFL assistant, took over the final 6 games of 2010 for Brad Childress. Led the Vikings to a 10-6 record last year and the playoffs. The electrifying Cordero Patterson with a 105-yard kickoff return last week will be deep back for Minnesota. And to kick off is Billy Cundiff, who wasn't with this team until the very first week of the season. After a kickoff field goal battle that produced no winner, they signed this guy off the street after he was let go by the Jets. It's the Browns and the Vikings. And here we go from the Dome. And Patterson will bring it out for Minnesota with a block and flying up to about the 20-yard line. Obanaya brings him down. That's a 29-yard return, which takes us to the third-year quarterback, Christian Ponder, who grew up in the Dallas area, went to Florida State and played for Bobby Bowden. He was the number 12 overall pick, the 4th quarterback, and here he is in his 3rd year starting for the Vikings.
But you see the 4 interceptions, Kevin. We talked to Christian Ponder. He said his #1 primary goal, protect the football, try to keep his team on the football field by converting 3rd downs.
Tight end Carlson on the move, first down and 10. Adrian Peterson. Not a whole lot there, 71. Rubin was there with the step. That's a good sign for the Browns. A gain of 4. He's up to the 24-yard line. Khalil was a Pro Bowler a year ago, just a 2nd-year player, but he is staggered just a bit, and Sullivan is the center, even though he was injured in week 1. And the weaponry. Simpson, one of the top receivers right now in the NFL. Peterson, everyone knows his story. And Greg Jennings, the longtime Packer, now Viking. 2nd down and 6.
Ready? What's hot?
They go outside. Rudolph brought down by Robertson. Great pressure on the play by linebacker Paul Kruger. Hits a gain of 5 to the 29-yard line. Just shy of the 1st. Taba Rubin is back, one of the top tacklers on any defensive line in the NFL. #1, in fact, since 2010. Desmond Bryant comes over from the Raiders. He's had a lot of sacks so far. Kruger comes over from the champion Baltimore Ravens. Well, Jackson leads him in tackles. And the headliner here is Joe Hayden, commonly known as one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Peterson on 3rd down and 1. Behind the line block, Zach Line, the fullback, and as a pickup of 4. And Solomon, he's out to the 33 with a first down.
Wow, what a run by Adrian Peterson. He told us he was going to come out and be very aggressive in attacking the line of scrimmage. Felt he ran with a great deal of hesitancy in the game last week on a real sloppy turf at Soldier Field in Chicago.
Said he was trying to do too much, and that's one of the reasons why he was hesitant.
Even the great ones sometimes have to dial it back and understand how to recalibrate their game.
And he is a great one. 1st and 10, first possession of the game, Ponder. Good block by Johnson. Oh, he's got his receiver, Jennings. Belted out of bounds by Gibson. The catch and run to the 40 of Cleveland. A pickup of 27 and a first down.
How about the poise of Christian Ponder? Watch over on the right side of the field, because he had been covered by 99, Paul Kruger. Kruger drops coverage. He gets behind him, and then Jennings able to make the catch there in front of the safety, Taiwan Gibson.
Jennings had 5 receptions last week in Chicago, so Deshaun Gibson makes the stop. First and 10 from the 40.
What's hot?
Peterson holding on for dear life to quell Jackson in a gain of a yard and down to the 39-yard line of the Browns.
Well, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, it's clear they want to come out and they want to establish the run game with Adrian Peterson. They want to allow him to get his rhythm, attacking the line of scrimmage, forcing tacklers to get him on the ground. And it usually takes more than one to do that. Then that's going to set up the play action pass. We've already seen that with Christian Ponder.
Peterson had 100 yards on the ground last week against the Chicago Bears. 2nd down and 9.
Zero. Ready? See that? What's hot?
And Peterson weaving his way. Kruger got a hand on him. Ward is right there, and also on that line, Desmond Bryant. That is a gain of 4. Just inside the 35 on the game-opening drive.
Oh, you just got to love the way he picks his way at the line of scrimmage. There's some penetration. Look at the nice footwork. We see him pressing the line of scrimmage, always moving forward with that aggressive running style. When I put the tape on this Minnesota Vikings team, I saw a team that's better than their 0-2 record on both sides of the ball.
More importantly, they feel they're better than 0-2.
And they are.
Gerhard is in. 3rd and 5. Great time. Great catch. Down to the 15. Grabbed by Jarius Wright. He's the 3rd receiver. He's out of Arkansas. A pickup of 20 on 3rd and 5. And a Viking first down.
Now, Ponder's got to throw a better ball because this should be a catch and run opportunity for Wright. He had to turn, twist his body, and came down with the catch. So it is complete for Christian Ponder, but I'm sure he's going to go back, look at it on tape tomorrow and say, ball placement is really operative here because I think that could have been a catch and run and closer to a score for Wright after the reception.
Peterson back in, 8th play of the drive. Ponder a perfect 3 of 3 throwing the ball. Play action here. Oh, look what they've got. What a knockdown by Screen, looking for the tight end, John Carlson. I don't know if Screen knew it hit him, but thankfully for the Browns, it hit him and deflects away, incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
All right, he was wide open on that one, Kevin, and he was open for quite some time. And you could see Screen just rallies. Maybe the ball thrown a little bit behind him. He was so wide open, I could see why Ponder just lofted up. But, you know, the fans were sitting there waiting with bated breath for Christian Ponder to cut that one loose because Carlson was wide open all alone in the end zone.
Screen very fast and makes up for some time there. 2nd and 10. Line the block. Adrian Peterson near the 6 and continues to move the pile. Robertson had a hand in there. There's Rubin. And Jaquel Jackson, gain of about 8.5 perhaps for Adrian Peterson in his 7th season out of Oklahoma. He was the number 1 pick and taken after Joe Thomas, who was selected by the Browns, and that was a story in the media in Cleveland and in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I remember when both players were on the draft board, and of course, you know, Cleveland has always been wanting to improve their offensive line, and boy, Adrian Peterson already the franchise leading rusher here in Minnesota.
3rd down, long one, Peterson to the 2, picking up 4. Brought down by Barkevius Mingo, the rookie.
Look at the power. One cut and go. That downhill aggressive running style. You know, we're going to talk about Trent Richardson a little bit later. He was traded. This is the kind of runner. If you're going to be one of the elite backs in the NFL, I think Adrian Peterson is a good example of maybe what the Browns thought they were getting when they took Trent Richardson with the 3rd overall pick in last year's draft, because Adrian Peterson is definitely the real deal.
That's Guyon, a defensive lineman, leading the way for Peterson, who is struck by Jackson, and he's in for the touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown run by Adrian Peterson has put the Vikings on their first possession, up 6-0.
They came into this game saying they wanted to improve their red zone offense. They needed to finish off drives with touchdowns, not field goals. This is how you do it. This is the hammer, and it appears as though the Cleveland Browns defense is the nail. They're hammering away. You can see the ball right there exposed, getting penetration on the goal line. That's a touchdown for the Vikings.
His 3rd touchdown run of the season, the 79th of his career. Reigning MVP taking it in. Good-looking drive. Ponder on that drive, 3 of 4. As they will review every scoring play, and that's what we are in the midst of right now. As it stands, an 11-play, 80-yard drive in just under 6 minutes, and they'll count it.
Yeah, you see it right here. And they just got some help from his lineman. Look, there's guys pushing him across. See the ball exposed, breaking the goal line. That is a touchdown because he's still up.
Good 3rd down, too, for the Vikings on that drive. The extra point, Walsh. So big plays of 27 through the air to Jennings, 20 yards through the air to Wright, and then AP takes it to the house from 2 away. Vikings had some red zone issues last week in Chicago late.
Yeah, and Christian Ponder made some plays. And anytime you give the ball to Adrian Peterson in the red zone, things tend to turn out well. Something that Les Frazier and the coach is stressed all during the week. Better red zone execution.
Greg Little is back to retrieve the kickoff, and it goes out on the nice one from Walsh. 27-year-old Brian Hoyer from Cleveland comes up next. The Stone Arch Bridge. That's the Mississippi. First down and 10. Brian Hoyer. Good block by Obaniah. Best with the drop. Allen was covering across the middle. Second down and 10. Boy, Best doesn't drop many. He gets the start today, as does Brian Hoyer. Second career start. A one-time backup to Tom Brady in New England, now with the Cleveland Browns.
They're looking for Brian Hoyer to provide a spark. Someone, whether it's Willis McGahee, whether it's Josh Gordon, who comes back from a 2-game suspension. They need a spark for this offense that scored only one touchdown in their last 24 possessions.
Second down and 10. Rainey with his first NFL carry. Bobby Rainey out of Western Kentucky. He was signed the week of the first game of the season after his let go by Baltimore. Gain of a yard. This line has struggled just a bit. In particular, the right guard, O'Neal Cousins. Schwartz has struggled at the right tackle. Joe Thomas is the anchor there, and Mack a terrific center. Best now is promoted. He becomes the second wide receiver. They welcome back Josh Gordon. He has a knack for making big plays. They need him today here in the Dome. Third down and 9. Obaniah is in, a block for Hoyer. His receiver fell. Bess, and also they had Gordon. Bess was in the line of fire. Gordon was on the sideline, short of the pass by Hoyer. 3 and out for the Cleveland Browns in their first possession.
Josh Robinson was matched up in coverage on Devon Bess. Hoyer is expecting him to make it over to the boundary. He tripped, got tangled up with the defender, never made it over there. We get a 3 and out for the Cleveland Browns.
Spencer Lanning will punt to Marcus Sherrills, who is the only University of Minnesota player on this Viking roster. And he gives off a beauty from the 23-yard line. Adamosi brings him down. You can see the flag there at the 25-yard line thrown. It was a 56-yard punt with a 6-yard return. Bill Levy is our referee here inside the Dome this afternoon. Built back in 1982. That's how long the Vikings have been here, and they're going to raise it. They're going to play next couple years.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 21 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
Josh Robinson. Yeah, next couple years are going to play over on the campus of the University of Minnesota. Second possession coming up for smiling Christian Ponder. Timeout. Now the Cleveland Browns are the talk of the NFL this week with their in-season trade early in the year. Well, by Eric Dickerson. That was a trade from the Rams to the Colts. Herschel Walker dealt from the Cowboys to the Vikings. Jerry Rice dealt from the Seahawks to the Seahawks from the Raiders. Randy Moss was traded, as was Carson Palmer. You don't see him very often, especially just on the play by the fastest defensive player, Buster Screen. Incomplete. Second down and 10.
Buster Screen, Chris Owens, cornerbacks for the Cleveland Browns, going to have their hands full today because the Vikings, after watching tape of their previous 2 games, feel like that's where they can go to make plays. Already taking a shot at Buster Screen using the speed of the rookie Cordero Patterson.
On a second down and 10, this is Adrian Peterson. Zach line with the block and a tackle made by Paul Kruger on a gain of a yard to the 16. To New York and James Brown.
Before the Packers touch the ball once, they are down 14-0, Coach.
Yeah, this kickoff right here, Jeremy Ross is going to fumble. It's going to be picked up by Taylor Mays. That's going to lead to a Ben Jarvis Green Ellis 2-yard touchdown run. And like you said, 14-0, and Aaron Rodgers hasn't even touched the field yet.
Thank you for clarifying that, Coach, because I guess the Packers did at least touch it there, but they didn't get a play to run. All right, back to Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Bengals coming off a nice Monday night win against Pittsburgh.
And that would be a huge game to win at home against the Packers today.
There's a 3rd and 9. Adrian Peterson hit by Robertson, broke the tackle of Hayden, gets out to about the 22-yard line on 3rd and 9, picks up 7. 2 yards shy, and the Vikings on their second possession will have to punt the ball.
Huge answer for Ray Horton's defense. After the 3 and out by the Cleveland Browns offense, Cleveland Browns defense back on the field. Look at the tackling, swarming. That's how you have to play against Adrian Peterson. You got to bring everything you got to get him on the ground.
Jeff Locke, a rookie out of UCLA, sends this to Travis Benjamin back about the 31-yard line. 45-yard punt. Hoyer and the Browns with the second possession, trailing 7-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Toyota Care. Scheduled maintenance, no cost. And by Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
After the Viking punt, here's a second possession. Hoyer finds Bess, 42-yard line. Sanford is there, close to a first down at the Cleveland 42. This Cleveland offense has only scored one touchdown in a little over 2 games.
Yeah, there's their starting quarterback, Wheaton. He's out with the sprained thumb, the sprained right thumb, so he sits out today. I found it interesting that Rob Chizzinski said he looks forward to having him back as a starter, but they felt like he held on to the ball too long, struggled with his vision, took too many sacks.
Open eye on second down and 1, and wrapped up by Everson Griffin. Close to the first down, 42-yard line or so.
And now Hoyer is in as the starter for Rob Chizzinski. As you take a look at him there, they believe that, you know, they skip right over Jason Campbell, who had been another number 2 quarterback, and they go with Hoyer. And they felt like Hoyer has greater mobility on a fast surface against this attacking front four of the Minnesota Vikings. They felt like he gets the ball out faster than the other 2 quarterbacks.
McGahee is in on 1st and 10. Hit on the play by Desmond Bishop. His role, they say, will increase. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Willis McGahee is one of the guys they bring in after trading Trent Richardson. They believe that McGahee, along with their committee of running backs, will give them equal, if not better, production than they were able to get from one guy. That's the thought process behind this whole trade that we've heard about all week. When we talked to Rob Chizzinski, that's one of the things he talked about, have huge confidence in Willis McGahee.
Openaya back in, 2nd down and 10. Whoops.
His arm was moving forward, Kevin.
Yep.
Then the ball came out.
Although Kevin Williams.
Yeah, Hoyer wanted to throw it, but then he didn't like the way the linebackers broke on it. Watch, he changed his mind just as he loads up the throw. No, don't want to. But ball came out as the arm was moving forward. That's not what they expected. They talked about the ball coming out quick. It's not what they had in mind.
His only start was last year with Arizona in Week 16 against San Francisco, when he was 19 of 34. Second career start today. 5 years out of Michigan State. 3rd down and 10. Thomas the block. The tight end Cameron. And he may have gotten the first down. He did, to the 47-yard line of the Vikings. A catch and run of 11 on 3rd and 10.
Now look at this throw. See ball placements. The one thing that Hoyer, I think, brings to the table that maybe the other quarterbacks, particularly Wheaton, is missing a little bit. Not only the ability to hit the intended receiver, Jordan Cameron, but allow him to create yards after the catch. It allowed him to be able to extend beyond the defense and pick up a first down. The accuracy in terms of ball placement from Hoyer is where they feel they have an improvement at the quarterback position.
Rainey in the backfield from the 47, 1st and 10. Again, they take care of Allen. Oh, they've got the receiver, Gordon, and that is a touchdown. They work on Smith and Jefferson, a 47-yard strike by Hoyer. And caught by Josh Gordon, returning from the 2-game suspension.
How is this for accuracy, Kevin? It's a double move. Now, Gordon, they've been wanting this. Look, they set him down, A.J. Jefferson, and then they would get beyond him. It's just a wonderful route being run from Gordon. We told you at the top in our Home Depot tools that this is the guy that provides the long ball that really have been missing the first 2 weeks in the Cleveland Brown offense.
Only the 3rd touchdown throw in Hoyer's 5-year career. His longest pass of his career. And it's hauled in by Josh Gordon, who was a supplemental pick a year ago out of Baylor in the 2nd round. Cundiff will tie it. Under 5 to play in the 1st. How about this? A wide open, streaking Josh Gordon hit by Brian Hoyer, and the Browns have tied the game. Literally, as the ball was being thrown, we were told that A.J. Jefferson was in because Chris Cook has a groin injury, and cashing in, exploiting that, was quarterback Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, the Vikings defense allowed their 6th touchdown pass on the year, and Hoyer took advantage of them without Cook in the game. Double move to Josh Gordon, torching the Viking secondary.
The Cundiff kickoff is out of the end zone. Touchback to the 20-yard line for Ponder and the Viking offense. And tomorrow on CBS, it's the mother of all Mondays as the final season of How I Met Your Mother begins. That's tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only on CBS. So we have a touchdown pass of 47 yards by Hoyer and a 2-yard touchdown run by Adrian Peterson of the Vikings.
You can tell both of these teams desperately need to avoid going 0-3, and I think you're going to get the best shot from both teams as well. Everyone thought Cleveland had waved the white flag of surrender.
This is Peterson, grabbed by Shear, hauled down in a loss of a yard, back to the 19-yard line. Shear now playing as a stand-up linebacker after being down as they changed from a 43 to a 34 defense.
So much talk had been about, of course, the trade of Trent Richardson. There's so much of the talk about who's going to play quarterback for Cleveland. We're not talking enough about the Cleveland Browns run defense, ranked 5th in the National Football League, taking on Adrian Peterson today. It's probably going to be their toughest test all season long, but if they can stop him, well, they'll stop a lot of running backs this year.
Second down in the long 10, Loadholt trying to hold off his rush, and there is an incomplete pass. Rudolph was in the vicinity, and the coverage on the play by Gibson and by Ward. 3rd down and 10.
There's the Cleveland Brown run defense that we talked about, and you can see what they've done. They've got the likes of Kevius Mingo. Of course, when you talk about yards allowed per game and yards allowed per rush, only allowing 2.0 per rushing attempt, that's best in the National Football League. So they're very formidable in their new 3-4 defensive set, not allowing Peterson on the edge.
Mingo is in on this play. 3rd and 10, grabbed and brought down by Billy Wynn. Billy Wynn, starting 10 games last year, comes up with the play. It's the first sack by Cleveland. They knock down Ponder back inside the 20, loss of 6.
Mingo forces him to step up in the pocket, and Wynn takes advantage of that. He's able to get pressure in the face of Christian Ponder. So I think Barkevius Mingo has really added something to this defense, playing for the first time last week in Baltimore.
He had a deflection last week. He had a sack. He was all over the place. Travis Benjamin deep back for the punt by Locke. Benjamin probably the fastest player on the offense. And from the 37, here he goes. Chased by Marvin Mitchell. Zeroed in by Jefferson. And the decision to go deep, losing 7 after the 49-yard punt. So 3 and out. Download NFL Mobile and never be without football. Get coverage every NFL game and exclusive premium content on your smartphone. Call ** NFL. There's a flag thrown on the play, or go to NFL.com/mobile. And the flag was picked up. I don't know if there was an assessment or not. Bill Levy and his crew discussing. So a 47-yard touchdown pass by Hoyer on his 2nd possession. As a starter for the Cleveland Browns in a city where he grew up, went to St. Ignatius High School in Cleveland. Grew up a Browns fan. His favorite player was, he had a lot of favorite, but Bernie Kosar was one of them.
Got a call from Bernie Kosar this week. He said, can you imagine that? I get to start for my hometown team, and the quarterback I rooted for as a little kid used to pretend being Bernie Kosar in my backyard. I get a call from him every week. You might say this is a dream come true for Brian Hoyer.
Holding on Cleveland was the call, and you can see the confusion continues. Well, they rectified it, whatever it was. So
the enforcement was correct from the end of the run. 1st down.
To the 18-yard line. So 2 consecutive 3 and outs by the Minnesota Vikings. Here is the 3rd possession for the Cleveland Browns, with Bobby Rainey in the backfield and Hoyer with 3 wide. This is Gordon again, looking for a block, and that's exactly what he got from Little, and he's off to the races, and here comes Josh Gordon. Racing up the side, brought down by Aaron Henderson. A catch and run of 30 yards. And he's got the first down to the Cleveland 48.
Josh Gordon is 6'3", 225 pounds, and he can run like the wind. Look at him breaking tackles, the speed. And I think it's smart to use a little bubble screen, get the ball out to him, allow him to create some yards after the catch. He was sorely missed from this offense, which really lacked an explosive playmaker of his talent in the first two games.
Obaniah is in. And bodies are moving. They have taken out A.J. Jefferson and they have put in Marcus Sherrills. Again, trying to figure out how to replace the starter Chris Cook at the corner.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 69 of the defense came into the neutral zone, causing an offensive man to false start. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
First and 5. Sherrills is there. Also got in Robinson playing the slot. First and 5. Hoyer will run it himself, and Brian Robinson brings him down. So 2 on the play, back to the 49-yard line. We're tied here. Let's take you to New York, and here's James Brown.
Redskins D being tested again, Coach.
Yeah, Joique Bell right here is going to go from 12 yards out on this play. Detroit's going to tie this up 7-7 in Washington.
Coach, 4 attempted tackles on that play.
That's the Washington defense, JB.
Let's go back to Kevin and Solly. Solly can talk about that.
With Reggie Bush out, they got to go to Bell.
Yeah, and Bush wanted to play in that game today.
Obaniah, second down and 7 out of the backfield and brought down by Marvin Mitchell, along with a couple others. Catch run of 6 down to the 43-yard line of the Vikings.
This Cleveland Brown offense look as good as we've seen it all season long. Last possession, they were able to convert a 3rd and 10 play for the first time all season. Didn't do that at any point the last 2 weeks. And what did Rob Jasinski tell us when we met with him? Felt like this team is so close. That's been the message to his team. He said, we're that close, guys. It's going to come together here real soon. And you look at Hoyer at quarterback, look like they may be close to having this offense to click.
Now they go to 3rd and 1. Bess has it. First down, gain of 3. Sherrills brings him down near the 40-yard line. This has been one of the top 3rd down receivers over the last 5 years. In fact, the second best in the NFL, mainly with Miami and now with the Cleveland Browns.
Can't say enough about that throw from Hoyer's. You take a look at the offensive coordinator, Norv Turner. We're used to seeing his offense be so much more productive than the 28th ranked offense, which is what you get after the first 2 weeks. That offense, those numbers will improve.
And he is in on 1st and 10. Here goes the end around. Gordon, there's a block by Barnage. There was a block by Greco. He's chased out of bounds by the linebacker Mitchell. And the angular wide receiver out of Baylor, racing for 22. Another first down to the 18.
Just great blocking. Watch Greco, 77, gets out in front. Watch him shield off one guy and get to the next level. And Gordon's so big and long, and the speed that he has, they're putting it to work right away to help this offense. That run of 22 yards and 77-yard reception. He had a 47-yarder for a touchdown, then another 30 yards after he had the bubble screen. This guy's already has almost 100 yards total in the game.
We're now 1st and 10. Outside for Little. Shot down by Sherrills. Trying to lunge his way back to the line of scrimmage, but loses a yard. Little, who is demoted this week, back to the 19. A 47-yard touchdown pass to Gordon ties it for the Browns at the end of 1. Starting the second quarter with the Browns in the red zone. Hoyer is starting this game 7 of 10, hitting his last 6 consecutive passes.
Maybe he's the spark that Chud was talking about. He said we just need someone to spark this football team. They're so young. Maybe they needed the veteran experience of a Brian Hoyer.
McGahee is in, couple tights. Second down and 11. Blocked by Barnage to the end zone for the tight end. He got it. Cameron, that is a touchdown. What a catch and what a terrific throw. He beats Sanford a 19-yard strike and Cleveland is on top.
Cleveland, you have your spark. Look at this throw from Hoyer. Great route. by Jordan Cameron. Now watch the hand and footwork. Tightrope, 1-2, he's in. I know they're going to review it as you would every scoring play, but this is a great throw to the back shoulder, great catch, and great footwork by the tight end, Jordan Cameron, who's emerging as one of the best tight ends in our league. It's just an excellent play.
I don't know how you could script any better beginning for the Cleveland Browns, who come in 0-2. Cameron is tied #1 in the NFL among tight ends and receptions, and second in receiving yards. And if it holds up, and it does, at the extra point by Cundiff, that is his second touchdown reception of the season. He is a third-year player and a fourth-round draft choice out of USC, played some college basketball, and he just got a 19-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Brian Hoyer in his second NFL start, playing for his hometown team, the Browns. I mean, you couldn't write a better story so far.
Just incredible. We're learning a lot about what's going on with some of these teams. The first couple of weeks have told us a lot, and what we're seeing with this Cleveland team has shown us a lot. Let's take a look at our wisdom of Solomon. Here's what we now know after 2 weeks of play. The return of Sean Payton proved that coaching does matter in the NFL. Is it rest or is it rust? As RG3 now learns that the preseason games also matter. And hard work and talent equals greatness in Denver. That's what you get from Peyton Manning and company. And then we know that a coach and a quarterback has found new life in Kansas City, as the Chiefs are now 3-0. This is a team, they talked about looking for a spark. 7 plays, 82 yards on that drive, and already 2 touchdown passes for Brian Hoyer. Went 5 for 5 on that possession.
How about this? He's had 5 different receivers. They've had 5 different rushers, including a 22-yard gain on an end around by Gordon.
Everyone thought they had waved the white flag of surrender, Kevin. Anything but in terms of what this Cleveland Brown team has brought here to Minneapolis today.
I think, too, it's a test of character because, you know, the face of the offense had been this, who's #3 overall pick, but they make it without even blinking. And now they come back with the guys that Rob Judzinski has coach.
Everyone questioned the organization. They questioned as whether or not the trade was good for this football team. Many people thought they were giving up by trading what everyone thought was their best player. And many people didn't even think Brian Hoyer was the quarterback who should be starting.
So Cundiff kicks it out of the end zone. Touchback to the 21st down and 10. And this goes outside for wide receiver Jarius Wright. It's a pickup of 11. Coverage on the play by Chris Owens. Up the middle they came on the quarterback.
Yeah, Christian Ponder's got to rally his football team after getting hit like that by Phil Taylor, planted into this turf. I think this team may be looking ahead of Cleveland a bit with a trip to London coming up.
That was a concern among some people we talked to in the organization. Wow. It's 1st and 10 after 2 consecutive 3-and-outs by the offense. Adrian Peterson knocked up on the play by Paul Kruger. Also hit by the cornerback Joe Hayden. It's a gain of 6 by AP.
Well, right now, the Minnesota Vikings, their offense does have to pick it up. You can see their last 3 possessions. They did score on the first one, going on an 80-yard drive, but a couple of punts and losing yards on their 3rd possession of the game.
Offensive line up there. They've started the same 5 offensive linemen now for 19 consecutive games. 2nd down and 4. Peterson got by Jackson. Got by Robertson into the secondary, hit by Tashawn Gibson and brought down. That's a burst of 8, and that is the Minnesota Viking 1st down.
No one gets more out of every run than Adrian Peterson. Penetration in the backfield in his face. You can see Hughes in his face, making guys miss in the backfield from the time he took the ball from Christian Ponder to have a positive gain on the play.
Vikings losing both opening games this season on the road at Detroit by 10. Last week in Chicago by a point. Houston's had Peterson blocked by the tight end, and that was Carlson, but coming through Kruger and Jackson making the stop, and a good one it was. He loses a yard on the play. Kitchen was also in there too. Ishmaeli Kitchen on that line.
You know, I said this Minnesota Vikings team, when I put the tape on, they appeared to be a team that's better than their 0-2 record. Why? Because I saw a team last week in Chicago at Soldier Field. They scored a touchdown on offense, on defense, and special teams. They're capable of putting points on the board very quickly.
Second down and 11. Khalil with the good block going deep for Peterson. What a catch. Working on screen. Inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a catch and a good one by the rookie out of Tennessee at 36.
So Peterson is a raw talent, first-round pick. And, you know, he comes in, didn't play a lot at the Division I level, spent a couple of years in junior college, but this route he can run. A 9 route, go deep against Buster Screen, who's given up a number of plays so far this year. And they throw it on the back shoulder, makes a great adjustment to come down with that ball.
One of the stories this week, Solomon, it was a major oversight in the words of Leslie Frazier that he was not seeing more snaps. First and 10 from the Cleveland 19. Greg Jennings. Knocked out of bounds by Tashawn Gibson. Inside the 10, near the 9, catch and run a 9. By the former Packers, 7 years in Green Bay, first year as a Viking.
Bill Musgrave, the offense coordinator, nice fake one-way, bootleg reverse to Jennings, and wow, and laying some licks out there. Jennings saying, I can take it. Right now, this offense is on the move. You see, this is Bill Musgrave, the offense coordinator for the Vikings. Have to come up with some imaginative, creative plays to help his team improve inside the red zone.
One-time backup to Joe Montana and Steve Young in San Francisco. Musgrave. Second down and 1. Mingo's chasing. Peterson catches. Thrown out of bounds that time by T.J. Ward. Playing with a bad shoulder today. Gain of 3 near the 6.
Well, Ward did a really good job closing in on Adrian Peterson. If Peterson can catch that ball in time to square his shoulders up to that line of scrimmage, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be a train wreck at the goal line.
But Peterson told us yesterday it's famine, feast.
That's it.
That's how I got to look at the way I'm running the ball. Don't just try to hit the home run every time.
He reminds himself of that, to be patient. Last week, that's what Coach Frazier talked about. He tends to want to hit a home run every time he gets the football.
It's Peterson on first and goal at the 7. Up by Kruger. There's been a nice addition in the offseason from the Ravens. It's a gain of a yard, and he's near the 5.
You know, I love this Cleveland Brown defense, particularly their front 7. Do believe they need to get better on the back end, but the likes of Kruger, Jabal Sheard, Barkevius Mingo to go along with Des Bryant, Taylor, and Ataba Rubin, I don't think you can find a bunch that's better around the National Football League, particularly when it comes to defending the run.
Second down and goal at the 6-yard line for the Minnesota Vikings. Quarterback draw. That is a touchdown. Christian Ponder.
Wow. We said that Musgrave had to come up with something imaginative, and that was it. He allows Ponder to check to himself. And yeah, they catch the Cleveland Brown defense. Look, there it is right there. No one in the middle after he breaks past the line of scrimmage. The linebackers vacated the middle of the field. Ponder saw something, just kept it himself.
2 rushing touchdowns by the Minnesota Vikings. That is his 3rd rushing touchdown. Had 2 last year, 3rd career. With the extra point put up and in by Blair Walsh. Christian Ponder taking it himself, calling his own number, racing in for 6, and we're tied at 14. Back in Minneapolis, and Christian Ponder through the air has gone 8 of 11 for 119 yards. Just had a 6-yard touchdown run to tie the game at 14-14. The ensuing kickoff by Walsh. Out of the end zone, into the stands. So Christian Ponder, the touchdown run. Here come the Browns.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Verizon. Verizon's 4G LTE is in more places than any other 4G network.
After the touchdown run by the Minnesota quarterback, the ensuing kickoff, McGahee begins at 1st and 10 in the backfield with Brian Hoyer. Here comes McGahee. First carry, first real whacking he has taken since November of last year with Denver. Gain of 4 on the play. And a flag was thrown back at the 18-yard line.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Number 96 of the defense. 5-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
It's Brian Robinson. Solomon, they announced the quarterback change. Rob Chudzinski did. At midweek, a lot of coaches may have held off and not named the starter until the weekend, just as a little play of strategy.
But he said that with all the distractions they were dealing with, they just wanted to focus on themselves as a football team. And he wanted to allow the team a chance to rally around whoever the quarterback was going to be. And for Hoyer to spend some time just getting these guys ready to go. He's got great command of the huddle.
First and 10, Obadiah is in. He'll get it right here. He'll be chased by Desmond Bishop. He'll be hit by Josh Robinson. Running to the side to the 24 and picks up 4 on the play.
Oh, Brian Hoyer has come out. He has looked the part. He's given this team the spark they're looking for with a 47-yard touchdown strike to Josh Gordon. Did another, just a rainbow, dropping it in the bucket to the tight end, Jordan Cameron. 2 touchdown passes in the early going. You can see he's been the spark because their first 24 possessions of the season, only 1 touchdown, and now he scored a touchdown on 2 of their last 3.
McGahee on second down and 6. And there's not a whole lot there. Picking up maybe a half yard. That's it to New York and James.
Well, some good body language here, Coach.
Yeah, how about this? Campbell Tompkins is a catch from Tom Brady, 16 yards. It's his 51st consecutive game with a touchdown pass. 7-3, New England takes the lead.
That they do. All right, Coach, back to Kevin and Solid.
Couple teams that practice against each other. You covered that practice in the training camp.
Patriots are on a roll right now. They get it clicking between those wide receivers and Tom Brady. Watch out.
Third down and 6. They're on Hoyer, and he gets it off to Gordon, who they cannot stop. He picks up 5. Sherrills brings them down. They're to the 38 and about a yard shy after the 5-yard pickup. And looks like Cleveland is, now hesitancy on the part of Chudzinski, but they are going to punt it on 4th and 1.
Watch this tackle by Sherrills, because I'm thinking Gordon's about to run away from him. Look, he gets to that back leg and is able to get Gordon down. It's an excellent tackle in the open field.
And Sherrills back there to retrieve this punt with a fake and take it up the middle, and look at this run right here. It's the personal protector, Josh Aubrey, who is a rookie, who brings it up the middle. Shades of when the Cleveland Browns went to New Orleans a couple years ago with some great special teams play. A 33-yard fake down inside the 30-yard line of the Vikings.
They watch it right to Aubrey, right up the middle. Look at him breaking tackles. Staying behind the blocking up front of Robertson, is able to get to the next level. This is just a well-designed, well-executed play, and well-timed on the call by Coach Rob Chudzinski.
He was the surprise of camp. In fact, they made him a member of the active roster. They drafted Janorius Slaughter, made him expendable, now on the practice squad. 1st and 10. McGahee twisting and turning for 2. Had a workout with the New York Giants last week. They chose to go to Brandon Jacobs. He was called middle of the week once Trent Richardson was sent packing to Indianapolis.
Willis McGahee had calls, you're right, from several teams, passed the physicals for several teams as well, but he and head coach Rob Chudzinski, they go back 10 years ago when he attended at the University of Miami, and Coach Chudzinski was an assistant there, so they're very familiar with one another.
Bobby Rainey is in, 2nd down and 8. Blocked by Schwartz. Hoyer wisely throws it away. Boy, he talked a lot about Tom Brady with us last night, saying he learned so much about preparation, film watching, and just overall quarterback deportment.
Yeah, he said that Tom Brady obsessed about ball placement, not just throwing it to the receiver, but where to put it for the receiver to catch it, create yards after the catch, and where the defender could not get to it. You're talking about very great accuracy. And I think his poise and presence in the huddle, something the players talked about. His leadership, I think, comes to the forefront right away with his teammates.
Also wanted to throw it up into the stands. 3rd and 8. Bess, shy of the first. Shoved out of bounds that time by Josh Robinson on 3rd and 8. He picks up 6, so a couple yards shy inside the 21. Vikings hold, and Chudzinski is elected to go for 3.
They're getting everything they can out of this offense, and they're not able to run it. Let's be clear. They're not able to manufacture many yards trying to run the football in this game today. Most of it coming from Aubrey on the fake punt.
Billy Cundiff has not missed a field goal try for the Browns. Second stint with Cleveland. 38-yard try here for the lead. He is 3 of 3. And he got it. 17-14 Cleveland. 6:07 to play before halftime. The big play, the fake punt, and a run by a rookie, Josh Aubrey, for 33. And then the 38-yard field goal. It's an undrafted kid out of Stephen F. Austin, Josh Aubrey, who took that fake punt, ran it 33, kept the drive alive. Like we said, he surprised a lot of people in camp to make the team, and he's already put his fingerprints on his early stages in the NFL. The ensuing kickoff after the 38-yard field goal by Cundiff. This is Cordero Patterson. Breaks one tackle, chased by Hazel, and out of bounds. He also got by the rookie Eric Martin out of Nebraska. Boy, he can fly. Here's another guy who can fly. Adrian Peterson. He is buckled up and ready to go in Minneapolis. Lake of the Isles in beautiful Minneapolis. I'm telling you, this area is just absolutely gorgeous. And that is a place to be. If you're not inside the dome, be outside. Here's a 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line for Christian Ponder to Adrian Peterson. Snapping on his back again, Kruger. Kruger's been in about 4 or 5 tackles already. He limits AP to a gain of 3 to the 30-yard line. And coming up on the Verizon halftime report, join JP, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores and highlights, plus a special report from Jim Nantz and Phil Simms previewing the Colts San Francisco game. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report, and of course the Colts have a new running back on their team.
Yeah, formerly of the Cleveland Browns. We'll see him next week in Jacksonville. Trent Richardson.
Gerhardt is in, 2nd and long 6. Ponder. Good block by Gerhardt. Deflected and picked off by Ward. Here he goes. And sheds one oncoming tackler. Takes it inside the 40 of the Vikings. Zach Lane couldn't bring him down. And the interception by T.J. Ward. His 4th career, the first of the season. Sports Illustrated had him on their All-Pro team a season ago.
Watch number 53, linebacker Craig Robertson. He gets a hand up on it. We said you intercept all tips and overthrows on the back end of your defense. 53 gets in the throwing lane. I don't know that Ponder ever saw him as he intended to get that ball over to Jerome Simpson. Ball comes down in the hands of T.J. Ward. Great field position for the Cleveland Brown offense, and they've been known to turn over the football. 6 turnovers this season, 2nd most in the NFL. Of course, this is the 7th time this offense, they turn it over on their side of the field.
Ponder throws his 5th interception. That is tied for 2nd most in the NFL. McGahee is in, 1st and 10 from the 38. The fake to McGahee. Good strike. Good defensive play by Sherrills. And again, we've got a defensive back out, and that's the starter, Chris Cook. They put in A.J. Jefferson. He was burned for a touchdown, so now they're playing some musical chairs in the secondary for the Vikings.
Yeah, let's see if the Cleveland Browns can take advantage of it. This is a defense that gave up some plays last week to Jake Cutler and the Chicago Bears. I'm sure Hoyer is hoping that his offense can take advantage of some of the backup players on the back end of this defense.
Open eye is in, 2nd down and 10. Block by Thomas. There they've got Gordon on the fly. Taken down by Josh Robinson. He's down to the 17-yard line. A 21-yard strike. He's over 100 yards receiving today.
Watch the fluidity in which Gordon moves. Look at him. Just good route runner. Just great speed. And then we talked about the big body. 6'2", 225 pounds over the middle of the field. Just effortlessly getting open, catching the ball, and creating yards after catch.
I hope somebody has him on their fantasy team. 1st and 10. Good block by Cousins. Incomplete. Looking for Cameron. The coverage by Sherrills inside the 5.
Wow, you just love the timing of that play. It was thrown out of bounds. He's tripped up. You could see the cross up right there. See him just get the arm around the waist right there. But they're saying that ball was going out of bounds. But had that ball been placed on the money, I think they would have called Sherrills for pass interference.
Double.
Bobby Rainey is in. 2nd and 10. Rainey cut by Baltimore, signed week 1 by Cleveland, picking and poking his way, and Harrison Smith brings him down near the 11-yard line. That is a nice gain of 6 for him.
All right, this offense looks completely different. And I know Hoyer's doing a really good job of putting the ball on the money. But if this holds up, all the talk is going to be about what Josh Gordon gives Rob Chudzinski's offense. Norv Turner, the play caller, a guy who can stretch the field, open things up for everyone underneath, and he gives Brian Hoyer a huge target over the middle of the field.
O'Brien is in 3rd down and 4. Timeout Hoyer.
They can't risk it.
Yeah, they couldn't get Gordon in the right place. But not a bad time to take a timeout. You lead by 3. You're trying to go in and score again late first. Browns just took a timeout. Coming up next, stellar young quarterback standout is Andrew Luck and the Colts collide with Colin Kaepernick and the Niners, or the Bills will take on the Jets. And the Jaguars tangling with Seattle. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. 3rd down and 4. Hoyer. Bess could not find the handle. Sherrills was right there. At about the 7, it's 4th down, and they'll try for 3.
Hoyer talks about ball placement. This one thrown a little bit high. Bess can't haul it in. Look at that, way over his head. You put it on the money, he's going to haul that one in, and Hoyer knows it. He's like, I wish I had that one back, but he's playing well so far for these Cleveland Browns.
A fake, and it's caught by Cameron. He's inside the pylon, and that is a touchdown. Wow. Or maybe, let's see.
Look how he touched the pylon with his leg.
Of course he did.
Thank you.
It was very obvious. It's an 11-yard touchdown pass.
Well designed. Boy, the Cleveland Browns, they're doing a great coaching job here today. Special teams coach. It's just a really good play. Look at this one. They set it up.
Spencer Lanning, who throws this over Josh Robinson to the wide open tight end, Jordan Cameron, inside the pylon, clearly, and a touchdown for the Browns. They've had 2 fakes that have produced big plays and 10 points.
Just doing a wonderful job making plays for this football team. Wow.
11-yard touchdown pass by Spencer Lanning, who grew up in South Carolina, and last year Lanning was playing for the UFL's Sacramento team, and Cameron catches his 2nd touchdown pass of the day.
Cameron had been standing over there, Kevin, all alone. Easy throw, easy catch, even though he barely makes it in, the late recovery, but a good throw from Lanning to get the ball over to Jordan Cameron.
How about this kid, who's in his 1st year in the NFL? He was with Chicago and Cleveland in camps in 2011. He was cut from the Jets camp, played in the United Football League in Sacramento, and now I'm sure he just can't believe what's just happened. So the Cleveland Browns have scored on 4 consecutive possessions. A 47-yard touchdown pass to Gordon, a 19-yard touchdown pass to Cameron by Hoyer, who's making his 2nd career start. They get a 38-yard field goal after a fake by the protector Josh Aubrey, a 33-yard run, which put them in field goal position. And now the holder on a field goal with an 11-yard touchdown pass to Cameron, who's caught 2 touchdown passes today. What else are we going to see? Cundiff with the line drive boot that will go out of the end zone, and Peterson will let it roll away. Rob Chudzinski putting some life in his team on a week where emotions had to be torn in 2.
We've seen him have a fake field goal, a 38-yard run to get a new set of downs in the, or I should say the fake punt to get the 38-yard gain, and then the fake field goal for a touchdown. key plays in this game is just the ability to make plays. The reverse to Gordon on a 22-yard run. And then you have the fake punt, snap it over to Josh Aubrey, and then the fake field goal. Throw it over to a wide open Jordan Cameron to put the touchdown on the board.
Why wasn't anybody on him? Up the middle they come, and brought down that time by a hard-charging Phil Taylor. He's brought back to the 12. It's a sack, the second one registered by the Cleveland Browns today.
Wow, they're getting pressure on Ponder. We told you this Cleveland Brown defense was better than what most people would think, because all the focus has been on all the other things, trades, who's going to be the quarterback, and quietly this Cleveland Brown defense is playing at a high level.
Loss of 7 back to the 12, and now it is second down and 17. Gerhard is in. Ponder to Gerhard. Wrapped up and taken down by DeQuell Jackson, who has led this team in tackles many times over the past. It's a gain of 5, and he's up to the 17-yard line.
Right now, this offense is in need of a big play. They need to keep the defense off the field because Hoyer and that offense for Cleveland's getting hot.
Cleveland has taken a timeout with 2:51 to play. That means the Browns have 1 left. Vikings have all 3. And they continue to talk to quarterback Brian Hoyer. We asked him if anybody was going to be here. He said his dad is here. Fantasy football fans, there's still time to get in and play with the best this season. New games are available to join today. Sign up now at cbssports.com/football. And his wife, he wanted to be here too. The problem is she's 9 months pregnant with her second child, so she's back in Cleveland, I'm sure, watching with a very full house. And of course, we wish them the best in the coming days. But your husband, ma'am, is doing a very nice job in Minneapolis today. 3rd and 12. Ponder going deep and looking for Simpson, who is doubled on the play by Deshaun Gibson and by T.J. Ward. And they got a punt again.
Christian Ponder wanted a little bit too much. He had a receiver. He had Simpson going deep. But then look at underneath at the bottom of the screen. That was Cordero Patterson wide open underneath, crossing the field. Would have had an easy first down had he thrown it there. Instead, he goes up top to Simpson, and he threw it late. That's an opportunity to keep your offense on the field by converting to 3rd down.
Jeff Locke was a 5th-round pick out of UCLA. He is a rookie, and he sends this to Benjamin out of the University of Miami. He bobbles it. He's hit. It's loose. It's Minnesota's ball. And picking it up and taking it the other way is Larry Dean. But they will mark him down at the 26. And a turnover, the first today by the Cleveland Browns, and it comes off the poor punt retrieval of Travis Benjamin.
Boy, that's not the spark that the Cleveland Browns was looking for. Travis Benjamin has got to field it and field it cleanly.
The kick was muffed. The kick was muffed and cannot be advanced. It's first down Minnesota at the spot of the recovery.
So it was muffed, meaning it hit it off his hands. There you see the live ball. There, it was not considered a fumble recovery. You could advance the fumble had it been deemed to be so, but they're saying that he never really caught it cleanly. The ball was live simply because he touched it, but it wasn't ruled a fumble. Now they're going to take a look at it. That's what Les Frazier was like. Look, we thought he was able to have possession of it. If indeed he did have possession, Kevin, and then lost it, then it would be ruled a fumble, and in that case it can be returned for a touchdown.
This is the crew, by the way, that worked that San Francisco Green Bay game week 1, and there were some problems in that game.
The previous play was only reviewable by the booth. Therefore, it's an unsportsmanlike conduct on the Minnesota bench for throwing the flag. 15-yard penalty first down.
Shades of Jim Schwartz, the Detroit Lions coach, on Thanksgiving of last year.
Now, here's the deal. And I know what Les Frazier's thinking. He wants to review if it's a fumble. And you can review whether or not it's a fumble, but you can't review whether or not it's a muff. And so, just some gray areas in the rule, and he gets the penalty flag. It will remain the Minnesota Vikings football.
But instead of having it deep in Cleveland territory, right around the 26-yard line, they're going to be pushed back to the Browns' 41. It's 1st and 25. Peterson is in. Ponder, Jerome Simpson dancing the screen and drilled by Joe Hayden. That's a gain of 5 on the play, and they'll put him at the 36-yard line.
Wow, we're getting a lot of boos here. And normally this place is loud for other reasons. It usually helps the offense, not hinder what Christian Ponder's trying to do with the football right now.
I don't know if any other game in the NFL has been as entertaining as this, but there's been a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, and it's continuing. A 2nd down and 20. And he's got Simpson, who's brought down by Hayden. Down to the 26. He grabs 9 right there, and we're at the 2-minute warning. 1:56 to play in the first half, and a surprise in Minneapolis.
As we face the 3rd down play, Leslie Frazier should not have had a 15-yard penalty. They really should have lost the timeout because he challenged the call on the field.
2-minute warning, 3rd and 11. Ponder, Adrian Peterson, grabbed by Hayden. 2-yard gain. He's arrested at the 26-yard line. They're going to have to settle for 3. And just to tie this up, this is the same group as I mentioned earlier that did the San Francisco Green Bay game, and they made an error in that game, giving San Francisco an extra down.
And they made an error today by taking 15 yards and marking off 15 yards on this possession once they had recovered the muffed punt.
Here's the Pro Bowler, Blair Walsh. He's out of Georgia, 4 of 4. And at home, perfect. 43-yard try.
Watch your head, Bob. Watch your head, Bob.
And he brings the Vikes a little bit closer. 43-yard field goal. 1:08 to play in the first half. 3 touchdown passes by the Browns, 2 by the quarterback Hoyer, and 1 by the holder on a field goal. Coming up, the Verizon halftime report from New York. JV and company for the latest NFL scores, highlights, plus a special report from Jim Nantz and Phil Simms covering the Colts and Niners. That's coming up next on the Verizon halftime report. So look at Leslie Frazier, who took his team to the playoffs a season ago, and in a fight with an 0-2 Cleveland team that really had so many differing views of what they had done this week, trading Trent Richardson, supposedly the offensive cornerstone for the future, changing quarterbacks, leapfrogging the backup and going to the 3rd string, and it's the upright. Nice kickoff there by Walsh. And bringing back the ¡1 wide receiver after 2-game suspension, Josh Gordon.
And boy, has he made his presence felt in this game. 47-yard touchdown strike, a nice 22-yard catch and run right there on that play. And he's done everything. He's been a present down the field, over the middle of the field, catching the ball from Brian Hoyer. He is giving this defensive backfield for the Minnesota Vikings fits in this game so far. Already over 100 yards receiving in the first half, and you could see only a second 100-yard game of his career.
Rainey in the backfield, 1st and 10 for Hoyer. Little promoted this week, as we mentioned before, because he had dropped 4 passes over the first 2 games. He picks up 4 right there, races out of bounds near the 24-yard line, and 62 seconds to play in the first half.
Cleveland Browns offense has been hot. They've scored on 4 consecutive possessions. This Minnesota Vikings defense, we told you they came in a little bit uneven. They make some good plays, but they give up some plays, and they've given up a lot here in the first half.
Vikings in the nickel. Chris Cook, their starter, is out with an injury at groin. 2nd down and 6 for Hoyer. Right off the fingertips of the wide receiver, Josh Gordon. Picked up by the safety Sanford.
We're just behind Gordon. When we talked with Gordon, I thought it was a real great conversation. Obviously, he was suspended for the first 2 games for violating the league's substance abuse policy. And he said, you know, I've learned my lesson. He talked about how contrite he is and the fact that he feels this is his last chance.
I'm out of chances.
He feels like if another suspension comes his way, no other team in the league is going to give him a chance. He was able to stay in the facility, wasn't able to practice, but was in all the team meetings, and boy, you could tell he's taking advantage of his time on the field.
3rd down and 6. That's on the money, caught by Bess. First down at the Cleveland 33. 9-yard pickup on 3rd and 6. Clock is stopped. First down, Browns.
You can tell, I think this is a trade that's already paying off for Cleveland. They traded just after the draft for Devon Bess, one of the best 3rd down receivers in the NFL already. I think once they settle in at the quarterback position, you're going to see his play and performance, I think, go north.
Open eye is in. Bess, by the way, 3-4 catches on 3rd down today. Intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. His 2nd interception of the season. And he gives Minnesota outstanding field position in Cleveland territory with 47 seconds left.
You know, we talked to Hoyer. He says, I got to know where Harrison Smith is at all times. Clearly didn't know where Harrison Smith was on that play. Harrison Smith is, I think, one of the best emerging stars at the safety position in the National Football League. A former decathlete. He's got excellent size and range at 6'2", 200-plus pounds. He can run like the wind. And you can see he can catch the ball when it's thrown in his direction.
And in the offseason, he shares the same trainer with the Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam.
Charles Patron in Nashville, Tennessee, also trains the Cleveland Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam, who's a very fit man, by the way.
From the 46, rushes there. And again, the fingerprints of Paul Kruger all over the defensive performance today of Cleveland. He has been disruptive. He's made multiple tackles. He throws the quarterback down as the pass goes incomplete, forcing 2nd down and 10.
Well, they've been able to get some hits on Christian Ponder. Ponder's a very mobile guy, but he's already gone down twice for sacks and gone down a number of other times after he's gotten rid of the football, as you saw there, Paul Kruger providing the pressure.
Got 4 tackles already. 2nd down and 10. Ponder. Caught by Peterson. Right in the middle. And an 11-yard pickup. A timeout taken. 33 seconds to play after the 11-yard catch and a first down by the rookie. Instead, a quick Viking timeout. They've got it 1st and 10 from the 35 of the Browns. Ponder, who's already got a 6-yard touchdown run today. Ward makes sure he's down as he is whacked at the 23, races for 13, has some words for the secondary of Cleveland. First down, 23 seconds to go, and a timeout taken again by Minnesota.
Ward's lucky he's not penalized here, because once the quarterback slides, but there was no hit. I think that's what they're saying. No contact, certainly not to the head of the quarterback. So Ward goes in head first, but good thing there really didn't make any noticeable contact with a forcible blow.
Ponder's a tough kid now. His dad played defense for Bobby Bowden down at Florida State. We know that he went down there and played his football. He was taken after Cam Newton and after Jake Locker and after Blaine Gabbert in that draft in 2011.
He is an athlete. He needs to use that athleticism, put some points on the board in this possession before halftime.
Peterson is out. Gerhardt is in. 1st and 10 from the 23. He got by Sheard. He throws outside to Wright, who makes the grab. It's a pickup of 3. The clock at 20 seconds.
I think we saw the athleticism there. You saw him elude the pressure of Jabal Sheard. Now watch him reset to throw this ball with accuracy with Paul Kruger right in his face. Just a real good move, good athletic move and throw from Christian Ponder.
Second down and 7. Gerhardt. Well, Jackson knocks him out of bounds. Near the 10. That's a catch of 8 yards. Clock at 15 seconds.
Well, Gerhard does a really good job. Not just catching the ball. He knows where the first down marker is. He get past it and then get out of bounds to stop the clock. They have time for maybe 2 plays here with 15 seconds to go. You got to take a shot at the end zone. Everything else is going to be thrown toward the boundary where you can get out of bounds. You can't get caught getting tackled right around the 4 or 5 yard line.
Running back is Gerhard, first and goal at the 10. And looking for Jennings. Broken up. Buster screen. Incomplete. Second down and goal.
Oh, Screen does a really good job getting that ball out. I thought Jennings had it for a split second. Throwing the ball to the blind spot of the defensive back. There you see Screen able to get the ball out.
That's the second pass he has broken up in the end zone today.
He's had to break up a few because they're targeting Buster Screen as the previous 2 teams, Miami and Baltimore, was able to do last 2 weeks. Now you have time to take one more shot at the end zone.
Second down and goal at the 10. Here comes Shear. Knocked it away. Picked up by Robertson. Charlie Johnson can't bring him down. Sullivan is there. Running around. And out of bounds, maybe. On his feet still, and then hits the chalk, and time has elapsed. And they will call it a fumble and not an incompletion.
Certainly no points in what could have been a scoring opportunity for the Vikings. Ball, so yeah, I think that's going to be a fumble. His arm started to move forward, but the ball wasn't moving forward. Look at that right there. And Shear's able to get that ball loose before the hand can start moving forward. You know, typically if it's an empty palm moving forward, it's a fumble. See, ball's out. And see, that's an empty palm moving forward as that ball's knocked out by Jabal Shear.
Every turnover is reviewed, and that's the pause we have on the field. Shear had a good game against Baltimore.
In the first half.
Said it's end of the first half. They confirmed that it is a fumble. Ball belonging to the Cleveland Brown defense, who did a great job getting after Christian Ponder in the first half of this ball game.
Cleveland getting 3 touchdown passes, 2 by Brian Hoyer, 1 by the field goal holder, Lanning. We take you to New York after this with Cleveland on top of Minnesota 24-17.